Coming to a YouTube channel near you.
Why, hello, and welcome to this week's edition of Spiritual Street Talk with Alethea Jacob. I'm Alethea Jacob, and if you haven't joined before, this is not the normal way that I sound. I woke up this morning. Actually, it was really weird. Last night, I just had the tiniest little bit of a sniffle. And the next thing I know, this morning, I wake up and it's practically bronchitis. I'm like, what the heck? Yeah, so I apologize for the gravelly nature of my voice. But, tonight we're going to be talking about how, life can fall apart and dark nights of the soul. And, stuff happens. We have to still figure out, how do we pick up the pieces? How do we move on? How do we get going even when we're feeling a little under the weather, right? So welcome Outlooker, welcome Susan, welcome everybody who's here. If you're tuned in live and you would like to, feel free to put a comment in the chat. If it's a question or a topic that you want me to cover, please, or expound upon, please put it all in caps so it will pop out at me. So the format for today, the first part of the show, hey Nilda, how you doing, dear? First part of the show is going to be going over the points that we wanted to share about Dark Night of the Soul and how to get through it, and just kind of help people, because right now a lot of people are feeling depressed, down, disconnected, and we thought, well, this might be a good topic to go over to help uplift people and make sure you don't feel so alone out there. After we go through some of the points, then I'm going to read the messages from Spirit. And each week, before the show, I always pick some, I pray, and then I ask Spirit to inspire us and give us some messages. And so I have some angel cards. I have some oracle cards, tarot cards that I chose. And I'll look at them at the same time that I show them to you, and we'll see what we get. And usually they are messages that are profound and timely for what's going on and what we're talking about. And it's really kind of cool. I call it like spooky cool, because what'll happen is, whether you're tuned in live tonight, excuse me, tomorrow morning, or a week from now, a month from now, or a year from now, the messages that come from Spirit are going to ring true to you. You're going to be like, wow, that was exactly what I needed to hear. And I don't know how or why it works. I just know that it does. So it's pretty cool. So just notice what you notice and take in whatever message is for you and enjoy that. Okay, so let's start with, what is a dark night of the soul? Well, the easiest way that I can share it, because I've been through at least 2 major ones in my life, is when you're having a dark night of the soul, you feel disconnected, period. You feel disconnected from the people in your life. You feel disconnected from your loved ones. You feel disconnected from the spirits, the guides, the angels, people that, and beings that have been around you, your guardian angel, your loved ones in spirit, all of those vibrations that are normally around you, supporting you, guiding you, prompting you, they don't seem to be there anymore. And you're like, hello, is anybody out there? And it can be really scary. It can be depressing. It can be so challenging that you don't even want to go on. And I got to that at one point in my life as well. It was that bleak. And I thought, wow, how could I have been going along, being a good person, sharing my gifts, helping others, working hard, and hit this wall where I just feel so lost. I don't even know where to turn. I don't even know who to turn to, because I feel like I'm so alone, right? So those are some of the hallmark signs of a dark night of the soul. And what's weird, excuse me, is that it can just come on suddenly. You can just be bebopping along, everything seems fine, and boom, something triggers it. In my case, the two biggest dark nights of the soul happened after the death of my immediate family members. And I, in particular, when my brother died, I was so angry at spirit. How could you not warn me? How could I not have had a heads up? How could this be? He died suddenly at age 41. And sometimes, I just was I was pissed off. I was like a little baby having a tantrum. And I'm sure that's what it looked like from a spirit's point of view. Because I'm like, my fist up to heaven. I'm angry. I'm saying, you weren't here when I needed you, then the heck with you. I'm not working for you anymore. I'm not tuning in. I'm not helping other people. I'm just going to go on my own way. And what was funny, I'm laughing now as I think back, at the time that made sense. And in fact, that's the worst and last thing that I needed to do during that time. What I needed to do was reach out, be more open, keep turning to them for help, inviting them to help, heal me, heal my broken heart, help me understand. But instead, I turned my back on it. I was so angry. It wasn't a pity party. It was anger. And I separated myself. Now, it was anger that came out of grief and a broken heart. But still, it triggered this dark night. And for me, it lasted over a year where I basically did not do my metaphysical work. I said, screw you, spirit. You weren't there for me. I'm not going to be there for you. And so if the occasional friend or family member turned to me and said, hey, heck, can you help me? I might do a little teeny tiny bit. I was not open for business. I took down my shingle, said, I'm not going to help people. Sorry. And anger's hard. And then what happened is finally I went to a retreat. I went to the Monroe Institute and I took a course called Lifeline. And it's where we learn how to do soul retrieval of loved ones who have passed over. And I thought, okay, well, I'll go check it and make sure my brother's okay. And I had this tremendous insight that I wasn't really angry at spirit. I felt guilty that I wasn't there for my brother because I was his big sister. I was supposed to take care of him. I was supposed to be there, and I wasn't. And that guilt was something I didn't notice in all the anger I was feeling. So I had to forgive myself. And when I did that, all of a sudden I felt like this cloud lifted. And so one of the ways to end a dark night of the soul is to unconditionally forgive yourself, forgive others who have hurt you, and find a way to express love for yourself and love for them. It's not good to cry when you already have a stuffy nose. Excuse me. Oh my God. I am a professional person, a professional teacher, and I'm like, oh my God, anybody tuning in for the first time is going to think, what is great? What is with this woman? But anyway, so sometimes when we're having a dark night of the soul, it is given to us so that when we come back after the period of time, and in some ways you could think of it like a womb experience or a tomb experience where you go away for a while and you go through a transformation a healing, an enlightenment period. And when you come back, in many ways, you're better than ever in sharing your light and your gifts, sharing your love, following and fulfilling your soul's purpose even more deeply, expressing your artistry and creativity. And little by little, the healing can happen so that the connections that you were missing and longing for and not noticing when you were in that dark night, they're suddenly around you and you're aware of them. And in some ways, the angels and guides and the spirits that work with you are like, hey, we've been here the whole time. You were just shut off. You closed yourself off. So you didn't even know we were here. We were trying to help you. We're shining our light. We're giving you promptings. And you're going like, la, 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 la. I don't see you. I don't hear you energetically. So if you're feeling fearful and uncertain and grieving because of a loss of a person, a pet, anything that you love, maybe it's a loss of your youth or your physical vitality or your sexual prowess. I don't care, whatever is bothering you in your heart. No one should trivialize that because that's important to you. Excuse me. Those are the things that matter to you and make your heart hurt and make you feel not understood, misunderstood, and alone. One of the things that's helpful is to release control a little bit, because a lot of times when we're going through those dark nights and those challenging times, we go the other way. We start to over control things because we think, okay, well, I'm grieving and I'm angry and this isn't working and there's nobody to help me. So I have to do it all. So I'm going to take all the control and I'm going to do it all. And it's going to be my way or the highway. Sorry. Yeah. I'm laughing because I've tried that before and trust me, it doesn't work. My way or the highway is not a good spiritual anthem, just in case you were wondering. Yeah. And Mary's sharing with us that anger is the biggest catalyst for the dark night of the soul. And I totally agree, because a lot of times it may be triggered by grief or loss, but it's our anger at the situation and it's our guilt in feeling like we didn't do enough to prevent it, or guilt that they're gone and I didn't express enough love to them, or I didn't help them when they came to me, or, right? So that guilt and that anger are the biggest triggers for the dark nights, right? And when we want to shift, we have to find a way to forgive ourselves, forgive others. And when we do that, what starts to happen is little by little, we start to sense the connections again. And it may first start much more spiritually and esoterically. But little by little, the people in your life will also start coming back, because without realizing it, you also put your walls up to all the people around you. You were just like, leave me alone. Or you isolated. I did the same thing. I isolated. I was like, if I didn't have to get out of my room to go to the bathroom, I would never have left my room. Well, actually, if I never have to go to the bathroom or eat, I could have brought up a whole bunch of food and brought up a refrigerator and brought all that to my room. But I guess I'm supposed to go to a chamber pot too. But yeah, the vision spirits at me sometimes. My guides have a sense of humor. But I would not have left my room unless I had to. I certainly did not engage with people. And I'm an extrovert. You want to talk about a living hell? Have an extrovert not be in contact with people. That was hard. That was awful. And if somebody did call me, I'd send it right to voicemail. If they texted me and invited me out, I would ignore it, or I'd say I was not up to it or busy or something. I'd make an excuse. So even when people reached out to me, I didn't let them in when I was going through that dark night of the soul. But what happens is as you allow yourself, to fall apart, allow yourself to unravel, allow yourself to kind of hit that bottom and say, I don't like living like this anymore. Please help me. In that moment, when you hit that dark bottom, that is when you suddenly go, I got it. I need to keep connected to my loved ones in spirit, to the benevolent interdimensional beings, angels, guardians, guides, spirits that work with me. I need to stay open to them. I need to re-engage with the people that are in my life and let them know I'm okay, that I'm here, that I want to do things with them, that I could use their help and their company and their friendship again and their love again. So what happened to me when I had that epiphany, I journaled like crazy. I was like, what? I couldn't believe it. But what happened is when I came back to working for spirit again, I know it sounds kind of funny, but that's how I look at it. When I came back to working for spirit again and allowing spirit to prompt me and guide me, I found I was able to help people at a higher level, at a deeper level, to be more effective. So when I came back, in a lot of ways, I recreated myself and my business in a way that would serve others better. And that was easier and more in alignment with who I was and who I had become after going through that trial of that dark night of the soul. Because when you come back to believing in something, when you come back to a faith, when you reclaim it, it is that much stronger for you. And nobody can take it away from you again. So sometimes spirit allows these dark nights in order to strengthen us, to help us figure out what to do next. And also to help us decide if this is really who we are and what we want to be doing, or do I need to redefine myself somehow? Do I need a new job? Do I need a new mate? Do I need a new home? Do I need to live in a different place? Are there other people I should be reaching out to help? Sometimes you have to empty the cup, so to speak, in order to allow spirit to pour the new into it. And the new can be richer and more fulfilling and more beautiful than anything else. You know, sometimes when you're in that dark night, you may feel attacked. You may feel like because you're so cut off from those of the light that normally are there to protect you, you may find yourself feeling like, oh my gosh, you know, it's almost like, did I leave the screen door open and now all these flies are in the house? You know, you're like, oh gosh, what is all this now? Right? So if you felt that, understand that you have the ability to get up and shut the screen door and get out your fly swatter and get rid of those flies. You have to learn to find the power within yourself to rally and take care of the things that are presented to you. Oh, thank you, amiga. Yes, and in a way, you have to embrace your warrior nature. You have to say, okay, this sucks. I feel alone. There's nobody coming to my rescue. I got to figure this out. If you are spiraling down in the quicksand and all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, it's up to my neck. I'm going to die if I don't figure this out. You got to calm yourself down and you got to figure it out. And just a little PS for anybody who's new here. I saw on one of these nature shows, they actually showed how to get out of a quicksand pit. And I thought, not particularly practical when I live in Wisconsin, but you just never know. But in case you ever find yourself in literal quicksand, what you do, apparently, is you start by basically vibrating one limb. So you would start with vibrating your hand back and forth a little bit, shaking it back and forth, just small movements. And what happens is the water and the sediment separate when you do that. And the water surrounds your arm or your hand or whatever you were moving, and you can lift it out. And then you do the same thing, vibrate it, and lift out the other one. And then you do the same thing with your legs. You start with one leg and foot, and you start very gentle vibrations and shaking. And little by little, the sediment falls away, and there's water around you, and you can lift it up and out. So I thought, well, that's pretty cool. Isn't that an interesting metaphor? Because we have to change our vibration. We have to shake a little. We have to change our vibration. We have to think, what will get me out of this? And we do it one step at a time, one little bit here, one little bit here. So when we do that and we've rallied and we start to help ourselves, all of a sudden it's like the darkness starts to chip away. And those of the light that have supported us start showing up again. And you start to feel that support again. And it's like, oh, I don't know if you've ever been on a long trip away from home. And that first night when you come home and then you're snuggled in your bed and you're just like, oh, I missed my bed and my pillow and my blankies. And oh, this just feels so good, right? That feeling of, I missed this. That's what you feel when you're reunited with your spiritual helpers and reconnecting with the others around you. The other thing, I know sometimes people ask, well, why would God or the universe let me feel so alone and go through all this? And did you hear the language? Let me feel so alone. Who's in charge of your feelings? Circumstances can happen to us that are outside of our control. But I do know one thing. The one thing we can control is our response to what's going on around us. Our emotions, we have the ability to influence very strongly, if not control. You can choose to get angry or not. You can choose to love or not. You can choose how you're going to react. Choose to want to be alone and feeling guilty, resentful. Pick your negative emotion. You're choosing those. Choose better. Choose not to do those things. It's not God, excuse me, or the universe doing it to you. God didn't make me sick tonight so I'd have this raspy voice talking to you. No, I went to the hospital on Monday for an MRI, and I didn't wear a mask, and I'm walking through all these different rooms of the hospital, the valet, the main entrance, the registration desk, the imaging room, the actual treatment rooms, etc. I wasn't wearing a mask. I'm not surprised. I came down with something. It's like, oops, I should have been more careful. But anyway, so it's not them doing it to you. And when somebody says, why would they allow it? Well, because usually on the other side, so by allow it, it's like, why wouldn't they send an angel to help me right away? Or why wouldn't my loved one in spirit break through that darkness and show me they're there for me? My aunt called me up this morning and she said that my mom, she had a dream where in it, she was, my aunt was in the dream and she was doing something at her desk and the phone rang. And when she picked it up, it was my mom saying hi to her. And she's like, oh, wow, hi, it's so great to hear from you. And then there was no more to the message. And she was like, what was that about? Why would she make the contact? And I heard her voice and it was wonderful. I said, well, maybe it was just to remind you in your daytime to listen, to pay attention more, that maybe mom's around you trying to, give you some guidance or help you. Because so often we're not paying attention, are we? We can have spirits and loved ones around us going tap, 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 tap. And we're like, la, 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 la. We don't hear them. We don't see them. We're totally unaware that they're there for us until we stop and slow down and kind of tune in. But when we're going through anger and guilt and resentment and all these negative emotions, and we are spiraling ourselves in this whirlpool of yuckiness and feeling alone and feeling disconnected. Well, if we're disconnected, we're not going to be aware of the tap, tap, taps. We have to get ourselves to a point of balance, at least, where we can tune in and go, oh, okay, I got it. I'm here now. So I think that's what I want to share about Dark Nights of the Soul. I think I want to shift to getting the messages from Spirit for tonight. But if you have any questions or comments that you want me to expound on, especially if they are about the Dark Night, please let me know. And I would be more than happy to answer those questions and continue with any other statements that would be helpful to you. All right, so the first message that came, which I thought was interesting, is Archangel Gabriel. And this beautiful angel card says, you are blessed to receive this Archangel card, and your guidance is to invoke Archangel Gabriel, who works on the white ray for grace and purification. It is time to release old memories, ingrained habits, and mental patterns which lower your vibrations. By the way, when you're in a dark night, are your vibrations high? Oh, heck no. They are lower than low, right? Archangel Gabriel will bring order and discipline into your life so that everything will run more smoothly. You can also call on him to bring you clarity and joy. You are reminded that you are a beautiful light and a wise spirit, and that the only material mantle disguises your true self. So envision yourself surrounded by pure white light and let your pure spirit emerge and fly. Believe and know that you are pure and light. So that's pretty cool, right? Archangel Gabriel announcing, reminding, heralding a shift to the light, embracing our purity, embracing our love. Okay, the next card I chose. Oh, look, yay! I like this card. It's a happy card. Should be for you too. Shower of abundance. Angels are blessing us. Yay! This one said, to heal your financial situation, first give us your worries concerning any money. We will guide you in order to show you how to create and accept more abundance in your life. As we work together as a team, your financial situation will heal as fast as you will allow. So Abundance is an interesting concept. What is abundance? Well, if your need is this little and you have this much more, you're abundant. If your need is this big and this is what you have, you're not. So abundance very much is living within your needs, having enough to meet your needs and a little bit more. What I've always claimed, excuse me, what I've always claimed is that I will manifest in my life enough to cover my needs and enough to help those around me, and a little or a lot extra so I can have some fun enjoying my life as well. And that's been my truth. And I affirm that and I put that on, and that's where we go. Welcome to all the new first timers. I'm so glad you found us here tonight. Welcome, welcome. And then the last oracle card that I chose is Revelation. And Revelation says, answers will be revealed to you. Go deep within and feel the desire for information. Send your questions up to your higher self and open your imagination to receive the reply. You know, sometimes people don't recognize when they're actually getting inspiration from spirit. They don't realize, they think they're making it up. And I'm like, okay. So if I was to tell you to imagine a giraffe wearing a pink tutu around your neck, can you do that? Can you imagine that? Yeah. Where in your energy field did that happen for you? That's the screen. That's the place where spirit's going to throw stuff to you. That's where an external source, because I'm an external source to you, inspires you to see something, to hear something. If I told you, hear the words to the song Mary Had a Little Lamb or ABC, sing that to yourself. Where did you hear those words inside your head? That's where the externals will talk to you. So being aware of where you see your pictures, where you hear your words that are coming to you from outside of yourself, that's very helpful when it comes to understand what is guidance or you making stuff up yourself. Okay, I also chose 3 angel cards. And first one is justice. And that's saying this is a time we have to really work on balance, because without balance, there can be no justice. Excuse me. The next card is the 6 of Swords. And this is part of balance, is all about taking the swords that other people have put into your life, all of the contention and drama and trauma that other people have heaped on you. You got to give it back. You got to get rid of it. You got to say, sorry, I'm not going to let you sink my boat with your trauma. I am the captain of my own boat. I am the steward of my own life. And I do not find it acceptable for you to sink my boat. If you want to sink a boat, go sink your own boat. Leave mine alone. Here's your sword back, right? So this is telling us we have to take action, be proactive, and make sure we're not letting anybody else derail us from our dreams, the desires of our heart and soul, and the path that we were supposed to be on in this lifetime. The last card, the 9 of Swords upside down, says the time for grieving and mourning is done. It is time to return to the sense of joyfulness, of playfulness, of gratitude, and inviting blessings into our life. So the other thing I like to do for those of you who are new, and I'm not sure if the link to my book is with the rest of the links or not, but A Portal to Potential, this book is all about empowering you in your life. It's channeled selections of inspiring work, questions thoughts that Spirit wants you to think about and ponder and answer as you're trying to live a purpose-driven life, as you're trying to figure out what is the measure of my creation, what is the purpose of my soul, what will bring me joy and love and peace in my life. So this is what came through. It's on Amazon. Again, I'm not sure if the link is down below someplace, but just check, type in my name, Alethea Jacob, on Amazon, and you'll see the Portal to Potential, and you can just click it there. It's $10. Anyway, I like to crack it open like a fortune cookie during nights like this. Okay. And the one I got it's a piece that's called Awaken. Excuse me. Just move the cough drop. Excuse me. Awaken. What do you see that is different when you have eyes to truly see? What do you hear as your ears open to fully hear? What does your heart feel as you have compassion and detachment as the nature of your love? Despite your loneliness, you are never alone. It only serves you to believe so you can make the changes you are willing to make only when no one else is watching. Wow, that's a big one. Did you ever wonder if the caterpillar feels joy or pain at the transformation he cannot conceive of, yet is compelled to allow, and is complicit in the preparations despite the unknown? Without the cocoon, she would not be able to survive the transformation into the butterfly. Without preparation, the exposed caterpillar would succumb to malevolent forces and would perish, which would defeat the purpose and the spiritual imperative encoded in his DNA. Allow, participate, act when prompted, rest, refresh, and recharge the best you can in the meantime. The time to shine your light once more will be here sooner than you think. Awaken. Well, that was a cool one. Because I love the metaphor, personally, I love the metaphor of the caterpillar transforming into the butterfly. And I bet you that when that caterpillar is there alone in the cocoon and starting to feel the pain that invariably must be happening to its body, that it feels alone, that it feels scared, that it wonders, like, what the heck is going on? But if it perseveres and it allows that process to happen, what's on the other side of that? That transformation into a butterfly. And so as the butterfly is free from that cocoon and flying and looking back down at the old shell of the cocoon and the skin of the caterpillar that she once was or he once was, I bet you they think, wow, that was worth it. All that pain was worth it, so I could fly now. All that feeling alone that happened when I was in that cocoon in that dark night, wow, that was worth it. Because look at me now. Look at me flying now. Look at me free now. So there's an empowerment that comes on the flip side if you can get yourself through. Excuse me. Okay, so those were the messages from Spirit. So again, if you're tuning in just for the first time, there was something in there for you. So I hope you felt it, and it either gave you some comfort, something to ponder, food for thought, answers to questions, guidance, something that made it meaningful. All right, so I'm going to go back through the chat now and see what kind of questions we have and comments people are making that they want me to kind of pick up on and see what's going on. So let's see. Okay, so first I have okay. So first thing is a request for prayers for Jennifer that just passed and Justin, who's deeply feeling the loss. Yes. One of the things that we can do as a community is pray for those that pass over, and we can support and send our love and prayers and ask for healing and ministering angels to come to those who are grieving at the loss of those loved ones. So specifically, we send blessings to Jennifer as she's on the other side of the veil, and we send and request assistance and healing for Justin as he's mourning and grieving that loss, and for anyone who is mourning and grieving the loss of that person or anyone else in their lives right now. So take a moment. When you say your prayers, they don't have to be formal prayers. Sometimes that helps if we're in that mode, but we can simply feel ourselves open up, feel the desire and love building in our heart, and just put that intention out there to bless and help those in need. That could be the most powerful prayer. Help them. Give them whatever they need to get them through this time. Let them know they're not alone. They are part of our community. They are part of our heart. Let them know they are not going through this dark time alone, that there are people who care and love them, that there is light on the other side. They just have to hang in there until they get there. Thank you for that, Nilda. Okay, let's see. Yes, and Mary was reminding us that anger is the biggest catalyst for the dark night of the soul. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so Nilda was asking, is there a direct message for me on how I should handle my dark night? Well, when I read for one person, understand that the messages that are coming through are also going to resonate with other people. So I'm going to start in general of how do we handle our dark night? Honestly, Nilda, it's different for every person. You know, every dark night has a slightly different vibration to it, catalyst that kicked it off, a severity to it. It depends where you are in your own hero's journey, where you are. So the first thing for anyone going through a dark night is feel and know that you are not alone. Get yourself out of any self-imposed quicksand. That's a first step. Ask for help. Make the choice not to isolate, but force yourself to connect. And maybe it's just texting or emailing or picking up a phone. Connecting in person is best, but do what at least gets you started in that direction of not feeling like there's nobody in your life who cares about you. Because it's very easy to spiral down when you're feeling alone and you're isolating and you're not letting other people come into your life. How you should handle a dark night? Ideally, we should handle it gracefully. But looking back at my own, even when I know better, there's a part of me that was like, yeah, screw you. I know what I should do, but I'm having my dark night. I'm having my pity party. I'm having this tantrum. But then something will shift. So have hope. Take comfort. Have faith that something will shift for you. Just like there was a catalyst that started that dark night of the soul, there will be something that shifts. And it could be the simplest thing. You're out at the store and somebody just gives you a flower and said, hey, I think you needed something to cheer you up today. Or somebody connects at you at the register and says, hey, that's a beautiful sweater you have on right now. Or, wow, you just have the most beautiful color hair. Whatever. Somebody reaches out and breaks through that hard crust that we put around ourselves. They cracked the egg, or the shell of the cocoon, so that the transformation, that transformed butterfly could more easily emerge. Have patience with yourself. And again, the biggest things to help are finding ways to forgive yourself and forgive others. Love yourself and love others unconditionally. What does that mean? Unconditionally means you love them whether they're there for you or not. You love them whether they do what you want or not. Excuse me. You love them whether they love you back or not. Just send that love out. If you do those things, that fog, that darkness, that heaviness will dissipate. And you'll start to feel yourself in the light again. You'll start to feel the connections with spirit again. You'll get back into the swing of things. And in fact, you'll be better than you ever were before for having gone through that process and making the choices that make you stronger and get you out into the light again. Okay, let's see, what's this question? My local is being, not quite sure how to help with that question. Let's see. Okay, I'm not quite sure. It's not exactly a question, but it's an interesting statement. It says, and hey, amiga, she says, hey, I'm new here. I was just going for a walk. I'm going through a dark night of the soul, and I asked the universe for a sign if I'm on the right path. And the answer I got was, open YouTube when you come home. And here you are. So hopefully, amiga, that this was just the right thing that you needed to hear right now to help you understand that you're not alone. And it was good that you went out for a walk, right? You started to do something for yourself to get out from the cave, to get out from the darkness, to get out from the isolating, and do something that would bring you a little bit of peace. Oh, and the PS, and this video popped up. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Okay, we have Chloe here. And Chloe said this is her first time to be here. And look at this. Chloe said she's emerging from a dark night of the soul. Awesome. 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 One of the things after you come out of one of the beautiful things that happens is you shine so brightly that you're able to kind of be that beacon for those other friends or family members around you who are going through their own version of a dark night. And this happens a lot following a sudden death of a loved one in a community. I just came back a couple nights ago from a tribute memorial for a young man who committed suicide. And he was very big in the horse community and was very beloved. And no one could understand, like, wow, how could he have been that depressed? How come he didn't turn to me? How come he didn't reach out for help? Right? And they were all, not all suffering, but so many of the people there, his death triggered a dark night because they couldn't understand. They felt this loss, this hole in their life. And so each one of them was approaching it from a different angle, depending on the relationship that they had with the person that left. So if you were one of the people that went through something like that, and you finally found your way back to the light, you're going to be a great blessing and help to those other people that are still struggling with the dark night and trying to make sense of the loss of that loved one. Okay, let's see. Okay. Oh, okay. And so we're just having a reminder for anybody who's new that if you watch till the end of the stream, it's going to direct you to the next show, which is Angela. And Angela is an animal and spirit communicator. So that's on there. And if you're tuning in and you're not live, you can also search on YouTube or search on this channel for Angela, and you'll be able to find her show and enjoy that. Yeah, and there should be a link to my books. I have 2 books out. One is The Creative Not Now, and this is one on life coaching. And it talks about how to get balance in your finances, your health, relationship, spirituality, and time. This is the quick bathroom read. It's really short and sweet, but it's to the point. It's $5 on Amazon. And the other one is The Portal to Potential. And that is, whoops, there's the camera. There we go. And that one is for evolving more as a spirit and a soul and trying to figure out how to get through all the craziness in life. So once you got a sense of balance for the first book, you pick up the second one, and that one's 10. Okay. Also, please make sure when you're watching this, please do all the nice social media things like, share, subscribe, ring the bell, share your comments, tell other people about us. You know, we're all part of a community here. And the more that we help each other, the whole point of this show is to be your show. Each week, a couple of days before, Mary and Chris Grizzly will get together and they'll send me a little note that says, hey, this is what people are asking about. This is what people need to hear about. You know, this whole dark night of the soul, so many people have been in one because of all the contention and darkness and craziness and chaos going on in the world. They just don't know what to do anymore. They feel like they're drowning and it's so hard to find light. Can you talk about that? Oh, sure. This is your show. So whatever topics or things that you're going through that you need a little help or guidance, I am delighted to be able to, share with you in whatever ways I can what I've learned over all these years and what I've experienced firsthand and how to come out from the dark times. And like I said, once you figure out how to get out of quicksand, it's incumbent upon you to help others get out of the quicksand, right? You know, you can't teach somebody a lesson you haven't learned, and you can't steal somebody else's lesson, but you can certainly help and guide other people once you've figured it out yourself. Okay. Other questions here. Let's see. Yeah. Dark nights of the soul are not fun at all, but there is such a beautiful transformation on the other side of it. Yeah. And so that's kind of the gift of hang in there. If you can go through that caterpillar moment, you can become the butterfly. The interesting thing is, if you are able to talk to a caterpillar, I bet you that caterpillar has no idea that transformation's coming. All it knows is it has this need to isolate, that it feels alone, that painful things are happening to its body, to its energy, to its consciousness. And then suddenly, after a certain period of time, and I don't know how long it is, they break through as a butterfly. And if you told some of the caterpillars scooching along in a branch, someday you'll be a caterpillar transformed into that butterfly, they would look at you like, what are you, nuts? I'm a caterpillar. I'm just scooching along the branch here. But that freedom, that beauty, that empowerment that's available on the other side of the transformation makes going through all that darkness and that struggle of the transformation worth it. Okay, any other? Let's see. Okay, so looks like we're pretty much wrapping up. So what I want to do again is just remind everybody the standing homework for anybody that's tuned into this show. And if you tuned into this show, you are a light worker in your soul. So your job during this next week is to shine your light, share your gifts, express your love, be unconditionally forgiving and loving of yourself and others. Do your best to become and be the best version of you possible, and strive every day to be kind and to have a positive impact on the lives of others. And talking about being kind and having positive impact, let's send our gratitude and thanks to Chris and Mary, who are the heart and soul of this network. The work that they do to make all this happen is off the charts. And without them, I know I wouldn't be here today, and many of the other hosts would not be as well. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for putting up with my gravelly voice here. I apologize for that. Hopefully by next week, this will have passed. And I look forward to you guys tuning in next Thursday evening. And please reach out to me. My information is down below. Go to AletheaJacob.com for any information about me. And if you want to reach out privately, feel free to do so. God bless you all. Have a wonderful evening. I'm going to try to figure out how to end the stream here and to hopefully do it. Oh, wait, I've got to get rid of that comment first. See, I'm not the most technical of people, but you don't need to be. You just share from your heart, and hopefully you all got something fun out of this. All right, y'all, be kind to each other, be loving, and go out there and make a positive impact on the world. Hang in there. Bye now. We'll figure this out yet. We're going to get there. I think it's this one. Bye-bye.
To a YouTube channel near you.